their confidence is always at an all-time high. You can never tell when they're too high or too low. I'm not necessarily worried about them at all. Like it's part of the game to miss shots, and you're just gonna have to respond. It's just how the game of basketball is. It's all about how you respond in the series, and I'm not too worried about that. And the way that we hold each other accountable as a team, we know that they'll bounce back, and we got their back.
Wow, that was Jalen Brunson from the New York Knicks. He was talking about their role players. And I mean, I don't know if you watched game 2, Kelsey, but the Knicks took a shellacking. They went in the first game in game 1, and they were giving, especially on the wings, they were giving the Cavaliers some problems. But I don't know. Karis LeVert came in game 2, and he impacted the game. He affected the game, and the Knicks role players they struggled, and the Knicks, they got whopped. And so we have someone to help us break down the Knicks. So let's bring him in. CP, the Fanchise. Please join us and let us know, what is up with your Knicks? Are they going to show up the way that they did in Cleveland? So happy to have you from Knicks Fan TV, the creator. What's up? Welcome to Brother from Another.
Welcome.
Natalie and Kelsey, great to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me, and happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Are you excited about tonight? MSG is going to be electric, according to Jalen Brunson.
Listen, I just checked into my hotel. I'm right down the street from Madison Square Garden. I'm ready to go. Got my Friday outfit, my playoff outfit ready to go. The Garden is going to be ready. So, yeah, you can feel the energy, man. It's going to be a great night.
The fit is fresh. Maybe you need to tell me about it a little bit, or am I going to be surprised by it?
You got to check it out. Follow me on
tune in.
TV. Yeah, I will debut it at that time later on tonight for sure.
Got you. All right. So what's going on? The series is tied 1-1, and I mean, I'm sure you want the Knicks to win every game, but in my opinion, like, even when you guys went in and you got the job done, they split on the road. That's what you always want. Yeah. But I still felt like once the series goes 4 games, I thought it was going to probably get like tied up even and be 2-2. Just because coming in, I felt like of all of the matchups in the East, that these two teams were probably the most closely matched in terms of level of talent. So, and that's what the 4-5 battle is supposed to be, right? So, I mean, I know they're going to want to win 2 games, but it really could go either way. So what are you thinking is going to happen in this game 3?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This 4-5 matchup is evenly matched between these two teams. And the Knicks went into game 1, and despite some adversity and leaving some things on the table, they were able to get the job done in crunch time, led by Jalen Brunson's heroics. Josh Hart, coming off of an ankle injury, hit a very clutch 3 in the closing minute there when the Cavaliers were surging and looking to come back and seize the game. And so they were able to get the timely hoops that they needed to close out. But in game 2 is always the hardest one to win. And the Cavs came in with a sense of urgency. Their defense tightened up. Natalie, as you mentioned, Karis LeVert impacted this game. He's a wild card for me coming off of that Cavs bench. 24 points, 11 of which came against Jalen Brunson. And I thought that was the big adjustment that the Cavs made in that game, was not only to take Jalen Brunson out of his game offensively, their defense was stifling. They blitzed him on the pick and roll. They trapped him on the pick and roll, but they made him play defense. They started Karis LeVert over Isaac Okoro in the 3rd quarter of that game. So they made Jalen Brunson have to play and work hard on both ends of the court. You couldn't hide him on defense as you could in that first half. And so I thought that was a good adjustment by J.B. Bickerstaff. The Knicks also in that game, too, they turned the ball over way too much. 16 turnovers leading to 27 Cavaliers points. You have to take care of the ball against this Cavaliers defense. They're number 1 in the league. They are in defense. They're number 4 in the league in opponents' turnovers per game. And so that's playing right into their hands. So for this game 3, The Knicks are going to have to take care of the ball. They're going to have to move the ball well against this Cavaliers defense. Do not let this defense settle in the half court against the Knicks. They're going to have to move the ball and move themselves. And I think the Knicks are going to have to look to shoot the three a lot better than they have in game 1 and game 2. They haven't shot better than 30% in either one of these games. And the way that the Cavaliers defense is set up, it's set up to take away paint points, the highest efficiency points that you can get. And so you will have opportunities on the 3-point line, but you're going to have to capitalize on that. And so far, the Knicks just haven't been able to do so.
Okay.
Not able to do so. Well, CP, first off, I can't wait to see the fit later. We'll be checking you out on Twitter, trying to follow what you'll be wearing to the game. And it's not a cheap game at that, right? Isn't the entry price, I think, about $391? We've got tickets going for $1,300 on the resale market. But as Matt said, the electric crowd, we are assuming that the Knicks will be able to feed off of. And we know Jalen Brunson is going to show up. I mean, how lucky are the Knicks to get this gift? If I'm a Mavs fan, he's definitely the one that got away. He's the hey, big head Tex, because you just see him continuing to thrive and do well, with this team. And we also know Julius Randle. But I think some people are looking at who will the other guys be to step up for the Knicks. Let's say, there is an off night, for one of the stars on this Knicks team. Who are you expecting to step up now that the Knicks are going to be playing back home in front of the home crowd?
It's very important, Kelsey, as you said. In game 2, we talked about Karis LeVert. In game 1, we talked about Josh Hart. In game 3, I'm looking at Immanuel Quickley, recently snubbed for the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. Quickley, in these first 2 games, has been very quiet offensively. Next to Jalen Brunson, next to Julius Randle, Immanuel Quickley is the 3rd most reliable player on this team in terms of being able to create his own offense, being an engine for this team. Defensively, he's going to be steady, but it's on the offensive end where Immanuel Quickley really needs to break out of this slump, because this team needs it. And give credit to Darius Garland, give credit to Cleveland. I thought their defense on Quickley was quite stifling, especially early in game 2 when the game really mattered. Now, Quickley was able to find some efficiency later in the game when it was pretty much out of hand. I think he shot 4 of 8 from the field, but he's going to need to start early and start often for this Knicks offense tonight to give them a chance to win the game.
A snub. I heard everything you said, but I caught that snub in there. You don't think that Brogdon should have gotten it? Like, do you think that? No.
Well, there's a couple of things, Natalie, and I don't know. Are you a Celtics fan? Let me just check in on that. Let me just check the temperature real quick. Are you a Celtics fan?
She's more out west.
Okay. You rock with the chef. That's okay. That's okay.
I do. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I do really like the Celtics, and they're my East team when I don't root for the Warriors. So, but yeah.
Well, they're certainly looking strong, no question about it. Malcolm Brogdon, when the Celtics picked him up, I thought that was a great move for them. I thought if he could have stayed healthy, he was certainly going to help them off the bench and give them much needed depth. They needed that, especially when you watch them lose to the Warriors in the NBA Finals. It just looks like they didn't have enough firepower off the bench, and he's been that for them. She shot the 3 ball very efficient. I think 2nd or 3rd highest in the NBA this year at about 45%, which was great. So the efficiency numbers were there. But with Immanuel Quickley, I don't think the voters really took into consideration his defensive impact on this Knicks team. I mean, his defensive numbers on and off the court were better than Malcolm Brogdon's. And I thought that Quickley was more impactful to this Knicks team, more important to this Knicks team than Brogdon was to the Celtics. The Celtics, they still had Derek White. Obviously, Tatum and Brown are able to do their thing. Marcus Smart as well. But for the Knicks, you take Immanuel Quickley off of that bench, I don't even think they make the 5th seed in the East. They are not that good. He was that impactful for this team, especially coming off the bench. It seems that because Brogdon got a lot of first place votes, it seems that a lot of the voters took stock in the fact that Brogdon didn't start any games, whereas Quickley started 20 games. Now, for the Celtics,
that will impact you.
Right, and for the Celtics, it was intentional for the Celtics. They wanted to preserve Brogdon, so they moved Derek White into the starting role when a guy like Marcus Smart couldn't get it going. So I didn't like that the voters, kind of held that against Quickley. He still came off the bench for way more games. You saw last year when Tyler Hero won it, he started 11 games. So, Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, they started games when they've won it as well. I just thought the voters sold Immanuel Quickley a little bit short.
Trust me, I understand. With the Warriors, it's the same thing for Jordan Poole. He couldn't be considered a 6th man of the year last year because he had a lot of games that he started, probably more than 20. but I get it. I do just want to ask you quickly, Julius Randle, how's he feeling? There was a little dust up in game 2.
Just a little one.
How's his health, and like how is he going into this game 3 tonight?
Well, he met with the media yesterday, and it was all smiles for him. He felt like he was feeling okay, but I'm telling you, I saw that fall. It was right in front of me. I was at the game, and I was beside myself. I was so uptight. I was so tight at head coach Tom Thibodeau for having Julius Randle in garbage time, put his health on the line, put his series on the line, because it was a scary fall, and I didn't know how he was going to recover from that. So he seems to be okay. And we'll see how he looks in game 3, because the Knicks are definitely going to need his offense against an Evan Mobley to have a chance to win this game as well.
Okay. Well, what I call the only interesting series in the East right now. I mean, Bucks Heat is a little interesting due to the injuries, I suppose, but the only interesting series in the East. So we'll see what happens tonight. CP, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. We definitely look to have you back on again.
Natalie, Kelsey, keep up the great work. You guys are doing amazing things, man. I've been following you guys on social media, so continued success. And next time, tell Michael and Michael speedy recovery, and I'll catch up with those guys another time.
Great, thank you.
Appreciate you. Good luck to the Knicks.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.